So I'm showing off this comment because I want to remind people that no matter the type of work or energy, no matter what it is that you're doing in life, that you will always have people that will be against you. You will always have people that will vote against you. You will always have people that will want you to do bad or for things to go wrong. And this specifically showed up underneath the video that I did dealing with everything happening with Trump. So because this person thinks that, I guess me questioning and me wanting to know more and showing how things doesn't fit, because they disagree with the video, don't like what's in it, even though everything is coming directly from mainstream media, which is the main thing that everybody likes to believe in. I'm going to place this in another video, which is the video that you see now, and we're going to look at some more information of things that people were saying.
I'm a former military man myself, so I know a little bit about security. Let me explain something to you about this situation and just how curious it is. Okay? Curious is the word I'm going to use, maybe even interesting. These events are organized, they're structured, they're planned days in advance. There are no pop-up rallies. No. They are highly coordinated events between law enforcement and Secret Service agents. They'll get to the area, they'll scope it out, find all the hot spots, whether the clear lines of sight, the perch positions. They'll never allow open windows or anything like that. They learned all this from the Kennedy days. That's why you don't have assassination attempts that often at rallies, ever really, because they learned a lot from the Kennedy days. And so what they'll do is they'll scope the area out. In fact, they'll look at all the hot spots. They'll look at all the perch positions, rooftops especially. They don't even like rooftops. But what's curious about this situation is the very position the shooter was in, they would have 2 or 3 agents in full battle rattle, security personnel up on that position. Yes, you heard me. The very position that shooter was on. That's very curious to me. Let's talk a little bit more about this shooter. This shooter had all the right conditions for them. Thank goodness they did not succeed. But let's just talk about the situation that we're in. They had a perfect elevated position, clear line of sight. He had a tripod, a scope. He even had good weather. Folks, that don't happen. That don't just happen. Just like, when Tom Brady said he didn't know nothing about the footballs and Bill Belichick knew that they didn't know nothing about the footballs, the Patriots, that several years ago. Troy Aikman came on TV and said, as a star quarterback, NFL quarterback, Hall of Fame, he said that just doesn't happen, folks. That kind of thing just doesn't happen. Now there are videos of clear audio. I didn't say edited audio. I didn't say staged audio. I said this is clear audio at the time. And there are 2 things happening when they hurl him off the stage. One, Secret Service does something that's very curious. They pause and let him get his shoe. That wouldn't have happened, folks. No way, no how. They could care less about what articles of clothing you lose. They will slam you to the floor like a rag doll and then pile on top of you and drive you out of there in the lowest profile possible in 5 to 7 seconds. That's actually how they're trained to do it. And the second thing is they will never let you wait and pause for a photo and rear your head. That would never happen, folks. Never, never, never. So just think about that. Very, very curious. I'm not suggesting this, but some would suggest and have said that Trump is a master at changing media narratives. Changing the subject. Garnering the attention. In this case, loads and loads of sympathy from public officials and leaders around the world. It's pretty good.
So you have a former military man who knows about security, who stated, different protocols that they would do normally, that they would shut a place down. They would check all the hot spots, check all the rules. They would make sure that their people are in there at the moment of time. They would make sure to know the ins and the outs of that place, that situation, so that if anything happens, they are more than well enough prepared to respond to any situation that takes place. The other thing that he stated was the fact that this man that decided to do this, Thomas Crooks, had perfect weather. He had perfect conditions for everything. And he was like, that just doesn't happen. For somebody to have such perfect conditions and just to be there at that time, it just doesn't happen. He's saying that it's oddly curious. It is very interesting how a lot of these things are taking place, how a lot of these things have happened, right? And again, I'm going to listen to somebody who's in the military because obviously they know more than I do. The average person would not, in a sense, understand what this is or how important certain or what would be considered small details very much are when it deals with a situation like this. Now, take this a step further. People need to think back to a lot of the incidences that we've had in the United States, where it doesn't matter if it was a mall, it doesn't matter if it might have been at a school, if it might have been at a concert. The main thing that took place was that people were running for the hills. People were running for the hills as if they have never ran before. And during those incidences, you would have so many people running that people would get injured just off of the running itself. But oddly enough, in this situation, in this instance, from the video that we were able to see, that's not what we witnessed.
He was doing the job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful places, the gorgeous ocean, the Mediterranean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Where? Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And still I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look. There he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
You went right on the roof again.
So again, something that is very odd. You hear people turning. You literally see people, instead of them focused directly on Trump and whatever it is that he is stating at that podium, you have people turning directly to the left, and they're like, yo, there's a strange man on the roof. What is he doing on the roof? People are questioning, right? This is the main reason that I'm bringing out these videos. This is the reason why I'm doing this, right? They're questioning. They're not just sitting there like, huh, okay, well, let me go back to listen to, what Trump is stating at this. This guy on the roof isn't. No. They're like, yo, what is he doing up there? We're not up there. We're not allowed to be up there. Why is this random dude directly on the roof at this specific time and at this location? And people are like, yo, hey, there's a guy on the roof. There's a guy on the roof. You clearly hear a guy state not once but twice, officer, officer. And then the one woman that is to the left of the screen, she's still pointing. She's getting even louder. She's actually, from her distance, she's louder than Trump at the podium. She's like, yo, he's right there. He's on. You got multiple people shouting out where this dude is, his location. And you mean to tell me that there was no in plain clothing officer, no in uniform officer, there was no plain clothing Secret Service member nowhere near these buildings or in the area? You mean to tell me that supernatural, this dude was just able to get up on a location that they should have obviously had scoped out and had some people already on the rooftops or in the area to make sure, or in the buildings to make sure that nobody was able to get up there? And yet I have a person trying to tell me that I am a goofy because I want to question, because I want to showcase this information. This is not AI, folks. This is not Chat GPT. This is not no type of augmented reality with Unreal Engine 5 or 6. This isn't any of those things that you're thinking of. This is something that everybody was able to see across the nation. We were all clearly able to see this. And because we're in a day and age where we got technology, people are also able to film things that we probably would not have ever seen if we weren't at the point in time where we had literal supercomputers directly on our hand. If this was back in the early 2000s, yeah, you probably wouldn't have been able to get such clear footage that would showcase that, hey, there's a guy on the roof. But yet here we are. And yet you can clearly see it. You can hear the audio and you can hear what people are stating. But yet I'm the one that's a goofy because I'm questioning, trying to make people aware, and I'm trying to see if other people can see what it is that I'm seeing. Or yet again, maybe I'm missing something, right? Maybe again, I could be wrong. You got a military man that is literally trained to do a variety of things, and he is telling you from his opinion, from the knowledge base that he has, how this seems. You have these people in a crowd yelling from their point of view, telling you what is happening in real time.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm here to tell you why the shooting of President Donald Trump yesterday, without a doubt in my mind, was a planned and coordinated attack on the president inside our government, our local agency, or police force. Here's why. My name is Matthew Murphy, and I am a retired Green Beret, retired from this Special Forces group, but I'm also a level 1 sniper, which means that I have graduated the highest level of training for snipers that you can do in special operations. We're trained, I'm going to avoid confidential or classified terminology, we're trained in assassinations and counter-assassinations for the very reason, case in point, yesterday, the shooting of President Donald Trump. So, first of all, anywhere the president's going to go, there are teams from the Secret Service that go out days, if not weeks, if not months, before the president will ever be at that spot. And they do a site security assessment. And they do that with the local police forces and agencies to ensure that every potential security threat or vulnerability is secured and, of course, protected against. Now, this is done way before Donald Trump will ever get there, and they know every place that the president will be, and the sniper team especially is responsible for ensuring that no one can take a shot at the president. Now, that does not mean that the sniper team just sets up with their guns and scans the crowd and shoots. No, what they do, the most important thing they do pre-Donald Trump showing up, is within a 360-degree environment of that podium of the president, they ensure that there is not a place that is open that will be accessible by someone with a rifle to take a shot at the president. So they make sure those places are barricaded off, inaccessible, and heavily guarded, so there is no way you are going to get to the place where you could even shoot the president with a rifle before the president shows up. Then they scan the crowd and those places of the rifle just in case by some miracle you do. Now, you're not going to tell me, I don't care who you are, don't listen to the media, nonsense anyways, I think most of us know that by now, that some 20-year-old kid that looks like he played Dungeons & Dragons in his mom's basement is trained on a gun, especially a sniper rifle like that, is a registered Republican, and then can access anywhere near the vicinity of that crowd, of that event, with him not dressed in a uniform and that sniper rifle. He was wearing American flag t-shirt and pants, and he had a rifle. You're going to tell me that that kid went through all the levels of security, somehow got into the closest building to the president, then accessed the rooftop of the closest building to the president, then had the time to unpack his rifle, lay down in the prone, and then take 5 to 8 well-aimed shots at the president before he was decisively engaged by the Secret Service's counter-sniper teams or a local police department. I don't know who they were. Most likely police. You're going to tell me all that happened and a 20-year-old kid did that without it being heavily planned, coordinated, and people on the inside making it happen? There is absolutely no way possible that that kid was able to get up there and take those shots at the president without a lot of internal help. So someone in that local, or some people inside that local police department, agencies, or Secret Service is compromised and is a threat to our president. So we need to stop worrying about that damn shooter and start worrying about who allowed this shit to happen. And President Trump, if you need an American to protect you who's actually good at sniping and stopping this crap, give me a call. I'll do it for free. Everybody have a good day. God bless.
So you have somebody that's in a Green Beret, and obviously he is an expert, right? One of the top. And he stated that this didn't make any sense, and he's trained to do, again, a great deal of many things with the military training that he has and with his expertise. He was like, this don't make sense. Again, he said the same thing that the previous gentleman said, that the Secret Service, days or weeks or whatever in advance, will come to an area. They will scope out that area. They will check every single roof. They will check the interior. They'll probably check underground. They will do pretty much the utmost to make sure that it is the safest location on the planet Earth. But somehow, some way, some kid, disgruntled, bullied from school, got through all of the Secret Service and the police, was able to get his rifle, gain access to a building that was near near Trump, decided to climb up to the rooftop, get there comfortably, and while in plain view, take out and set up his rifle, and then comfortably sit back down, and then comfortably get into a position where he'll be able to do what it is that he did. Again, this is a militarily trained personnel stating it does not make any type of sense, but yet, like I told you guys before, you got people out here that don't want you to critically think. They don't want you to just stop and stare and just wonder, how could this happen? Question, how could this happen? Delve deeper into, why did this happen? They want to sit online and they want to be in the comment sections and call people goofies.
Just take me back. What were you doing before the shooting happened, and then what did you see and hear?
I was just standing there like everybody else, waiting for Trump. And as Trump started, I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seeing a guy on top of one of the buildings go in between one building to the next, and went and told the officer that he was up there. And when I went back to my spot, I heard that people could still see the person from where they were standing. So I checked that out, and I went back to tell the officer that if he came over there, he could see them. And when I turned my back is when the shots started, and then it took me a second or two to figure out exactly what it was. And then it was just getting out of there and helping some other person out with her child, and we got out, and that was the end of that. And I went and left, and that was all.
So yet again, we got another eyewitness that was there that day, and he stated that he was trying to inform officers. He was stating that other people also spotted Thomas Crooks as well. He also stated that he basically saw Thomas Crook go from one area to another area. So I'm just a little bit confused on how it is that all of these people were fixated, on everything that was going on, but still had the right frame of mind to spot something that was out of place. But yet you have professional personnel, both Secret Service and the police, all there. I'm pretty sure that the police were strained back at base, because they were probably not really much there, because everybody was there trying to, be at the whole thing dealing with Trump. But yet with all of those law enforcement and government, I guess you could say officers, whatever you want to sit up there and call it, with all of those individuals there, this was still able to happen. And people have a question, or people have a problem with why it is that I'm questioning this, why it is that I want to do these videos. It's the same thing like I told people before, that every single time that you see something, you need to question every single thing up until it makes sense. And even when it makes sense, you still need to question a little bit more. Because again, none of this is making any type of sense. You literally have everything from prior military to people, just ordinary people filming, to the whole fact of other incidences such as people acting very weird in place during the time of the event. And again, let me just go back to the whole fact that you got ordinary people out here, quote unquote, that are eyewitnesses to what took place. They were not, in a sense, and behind the camera like we are. They were there, front and center. So they were able to hear clear audio live. They were able to see the person live. And they also caught this live. But yet, it's a problem that people want to question how this situation seemed to came to be. Because again, I feel as though that at this moment in time in the United States, everybody, I don't care what political affiliation that you have, Democrat, Republican, Independent, everybody needs to question everything. That's all I'm saying. And if you have a problem with people critically thinking and questioning, then there are a few other countries that I feel that you should visit and more than likely move you and your family to, so that you're not allowed to critically think or question the government of any of the things that they decide to sit up there and do or put or place directly in front of you. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.